I've also then shown that crypto is all the same thing. So if I use the same global liquidity index, it's basically the chart of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin outperforms in the up cycles because there's a network adoption model, which is why it does so much better than almost all other assets. So that's the everything code, is the fact that it's all down to one simple thing, and I think it's forecastable, and in which case we know the price of assets in advance, which is a little bit freaky. And I know that sounds somewhat arrogant, but it's a hypothesis that I'll test, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be right, unless something changes. And what we'll know is, are we going to see larger scale QE coming in the next 2 years?
Bitcoin rose to $29,000 in European morning hours on Wednesday, with some investors pointing to expectations the Federal Reserve will inject money into the economy in the coming weeks after signs of yet another U.S. bank collapse. It was last at that level on April 20th. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Raoul Pal shares with us his outlook on the future of crypto markets and his view on regulations for Bitcoin.
What we want to do is blame, and we ourselves were to blame. And if you want the real blame, it was World War II. I mean, because that's where the baby boom came from. Mm-hmm. So a knock-on effect of World War II, of peace in our time, was this. Nobody would have foreseen that. That's what happened. So that demographic force, which is us, created the death of the American dream because there was too many people to share the pie. Then we add globalization of the labor force, and then we add technology, and people have no chance. So they borrowed debt, and then when that blows up, they get angry. And the people on the coasts blame the people in the middle, and the people in the middle blame the people on the coasts. It becomes a political divide. It's not to do with politics. Never has been. But what happens is people are angry, and they don't know who to blame. And that's a bigger force that we're seeing play out now. That's the rise of crypto came out of all of this as well. Occupy Wall Street Bets, the online network communities that we're seeing formed where people are getting together to take the system in their own hands in different ways. It is a fourth turning moment. It's a societally structural shift that happened in 2008 in ways we won't understand for maybe several decades, but it changed everything.
Shares of First Republic Bank tumbled 50% on Tuesday after the San Francisco-based lender revealed a dramatic slump in deposits. Investors withdrew over $100 billion from the bank this quarter, prompting concerns it will become the third bank to fail, joining Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. The slide stressed U.S. markets, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average losing 1% and tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 dropping almost 2%. In contrast, Bitcoin has added 6.4% in the past 24 hours, following safe haven assets such as gold to reverse nearly all losses from last week's sell-off.
So, firstly, the exponential age thesis is that we are at this nexus of technology of which mankind has never gone through, and it'll happen in the shortest period of time of any technological change ever. And it's all happening in a way that we will not be able to get our heads around. And crypto was the start of that. There are all these trends have been in place, but they're now about to hit adoption phase. So crypto is one of them. We're only at 300 million people. The next time we poke our heads above the water in 3 years' time, we'll be at 1 billion people, and then 4 billion people, whatever the numbers work out to be. AI has been coming for ages. And then it's like a nuclear bomb hit in one go, because it was so much faster in its adoption than anything humanity's ever faced. We've just brought knowledge, and we'll go into AI later, but we've just brought knowledge, infinite knowledge, scalable knowledge into the global economic system. And it happened in a 3-week period when GPT-4 came out. It went from 0 to 100 million users in 5 weeks. I mean, oh my God. And we're all scrambling. And then we've had more developments there. But that's not just the exponential age. The next thing is, well, in 3 years' time, we're going to be having this conversation. It'll be like, how all the Uber drivers and all the bus drivers and everybody's been laid off because of self-driving cars. That bomb is going to happen. We're at that cognitive dissonance now of like, well, it's not going to happen. They're never going to solve this. And then immediately it gets solved. Do you remember the arguments 2 years ago? Well, machine learning is hardly AI. Next minute AI comes along and we're like, fuck, is this generative? Is this AGI? We don't even know anymore, right? And that's going to happen with self-driving cars. Robotics. It's another trend. I mean, just look at that Optimus robot, and he's not the only one. Tesla are not the only people doing this, but he happens to own the fastest supercomputer in the world, Dojo, the Optimus robot, the self-driving cars with all the visualization technology, the mapping of everything, and in addition, he now owns Twitter, which I argued a while ago was just to get the AI. And why he wants an unbiased Twitter is to get as much AI as possible. So we've got robots coming. We've also got genetic sciences. When you add AI into biotechnology, you create outcomes much faster. So we'll see huge breakthroughs in medicines. You would say that RNA vaccine technology is a huge breakthrough in technology. And we've got more than that, distributed computing power, space. I mean, today as we're speaking, Elon's just launched the largest rocket ever launched into space. Yeah, it was a successful launch, but failed to decouple its engine or whatever, and then blew up afterwards. But generally speaking, what he's doing in space and many others is another whole quantum leap that most people haven't got their heads around yet. I mean, the fact that we've got Wi-Fi all around the world now coming from satellites is kind of ludicrous, but it's happening. And that changes the whole equation. Data, 6G, 5G, all of this all Internet of Things, wearable technology, it's all happening. This nexus of technology is a game changer for humanity. It is the fourth turning moment. We can't even understand what the world is going to look like in 1 year now.
Overall, crypto market capitalization grew 4.9%, with the likes of Cardano and Solana tokens jumping more than 7% to lead gains among major tokens. Some observers reasoned the rally came from expectations of a liquidity injection by the Fed in a bid to protect its capital markets. Bitcoin, as a result, is front-running these expectations. Cracks in the financial system are growing, even if relatively subtly at the moment, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for the Fed to adhere to its tightening regime going forward, he said. Bitcoin's rally of late has more to do with liquidity injections and rising expectations that the Fed's tightening will probably have to end fairly soon, or else even greater turbulence in the banking sector could ensue. So, is it a good time to invest in Bitcoin? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.